Okay, so hi everybody. Let's start this evening. So first, I want to make sure that everybody saw my nice hat, which is a gift, and the gift it says it's a cap with the name Temagami on it, which very touching gift that I received. Because for this very event, I collect virtual gifts from different people. Sasha, I hope you won't be offended if I take it off. Sasha just rejoining. I think he had some problem with the internet. Okay, Sasha, I hope it's fine if I take it off, because I feel more everybody saw it. I feel more comfortable just having my hair messy and everything. So thank you very much for coming. This is a new project. This is a new big excitement for me. Really, really big excitement. I don't know how I decided to go for it, because it's not easy. Everything related to cultural mosaic, it's not easy, and it requires a lot of contribution, a lot of spirit, and everything. I got discouraged because the previous project in Flanders Fields, it was quite successful. It even got the award from CIMA, Canadian Ethnic Media Association, and it was nominated for Canadian General Governor Award. Really, it's not easy, but it is exciting. This very project, I can see other people joining. Hi everybody. Hi Jacob. Hi Maria. This very project, it started way before I would say the new wave of interest was expressed to Aboriginal cultures. What happened a couple of years ago, I translated a poem written by Archibald Lempan, the poem Temagami, and I really loved the lyrics. I loved the poem itself, and also I loved the fact that the author, Archibald Lempan, who is Canadian classic, he was really inspired by indigenous names and indigenous images. And the name itself, hi Diana, the name Temagami, it means the translation in Ojibwe language, it means deep water by the shore. And actually in all tourist guides, they say that don't be very careful, even though the name says deep water. In some places you can see it's very shallow, you can see rocks, and it's quite dangerous for people who do canoeing. But Archibald Lempan, who really loved the Canadian history and Canadian nature, he did go to to many places, and he dedicated many of his poems to wonderful nature of our country. And this one, it was beautiful. It really inspired me. I translated into Russian. Translation had quite a good resonance. And then I actually requested people I believe I'm not the only one who loves history, who loves Aboriginal names. We have here some people from US. So people, you probably have the same situation in US. Wherever you come, let's say half of the names are English names, and the other half of names, they belong to Aboriginal people who, most of them are not in life, not anymore, or very few left. In Canada, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Mississauga, everything, all these are Aboriginal names, but you almost can't see people who created these names, even though we know translations. So I requested people to find poems made by different poets, and even create poems on their own. And the first person who helped me a lot was my daughter Anna, and who number one who just who told me about a very interesting poetess who was half Aboriginal. I didn't know about this lady, and also she wrote a poem on her own and brought more modern and wonderful Canadian poets. Anna, want to speak?
Yeah, so I guess should we proceed to reading poetry already then?
Just show like, what you found, this poetess and your own.
Of course, yeah. So the poet that my mom is talking about is Emily Pauline Johnson, who's actually was half English, and then her father was, I believe, a Mohawk chief. And so her life, of course, was quite complicated, being that she was born in 1861 and passed away, I believe it was something like 1913. Exactly. And she was born on an Indian reservation and proceeded to have quite a successful stage career, where she also wrote quite a bit. And then after that long career of performing, she eventually retired to Vancouver, where she focused on her writing. And actually, it is there that she passed away. And at the time, it was one of the biggest, if not the biggest, funeral in Vancouver when she passed away. But anyways, the poem that I wanted to read is called Eerie Waters, about Lake Erie. And just to provide a little bit of context, the word Erie comes from, I believe it's the Iroquois word for Erie, which pertains to the Iroquois people. And I think it has several potential meanings. So it could mean a long tail, or it could also mean, I think, a cherry tree. So those are the two main meanings that Erie might have in terms of origin. And I guess I'll proceed with reading her poem first. So as I said, it's called Eerie Waters. A dash of yellow sand, wind scattered and sun tanned. Some waves that curl and cream along the margin of the strand. And creeping close to these, long shores that lounge at ease, old eerie rocks and ripples to a fresh southwestern breeze. A sky of blue and gray, some stormy clouds that play, at scurrying up with ragged edge, then laughing blow away. Just laughing in their trail, some snatches of a gale. To whistling summer winds, we lift a single daring sail. O wind, so sweet and swift, O danger, frighted gift, bestowed on Erie with her waves that foam and fall and lift. We laugh in your wild face and break into a race with flying clouds and tossing gulls that weave and interlace.
Okay, and what about yours, Mazino?
Yeah, so I guess I can now read my poem. So my poem I wrote, it was actually from a place called Bon Echo, which I personally really loved. It's one of my favorite places and provincial parks that I went to as a child. And I decided to call it Mazenod because of the Mazenod rock that is found in Bon Echo Provincial Park. And Mazenod in Algonquin means painted image or written writing, so writing or word. And it's actually, I believe, the largest pictograph rock site on the Southern Canadian Shield. So quite significant for Canada. And once again, to provide some context, a lot of these pictographs were quite a significant way of storytelling for a lot of indigenous peoples. And there, I think, are almost 300 images all along this giant rock. And it depicts, a whole life that these humans had, animals. I think has a lot of geometric symbols. So you can actually visit this rock. And if you're on canoe, you can touch the rock and see how people painted these with a red clay, which still to this day can be seen. So my poem is called Mazenod. Paint my naked body of blackened stone and monarch granite. Stroke my ancient leaves and herbs, wet my eyes with fleeting drops of starlight. Lend your willing ear to the whispers of the trees, for they converse in ancient tongues. Like bristles of a brush, they sway the day away, drawing to and fro. See the whirling of my waves, chanting hymns in perfect harmony, bouncing off my rocky banks, a trilling echo so fair and bonny. As you trace my lips, pigmented in red, and as you read my trails, paved by the bear cub's clumsy paw, be the forest face where ink is bled. Behold, my home of Mazenod.
Anya, thank you so much. Many thanks again. I'm not sure if I had the courage to start this project if Anna didn't help me, because but whenever you start new things, you need support. I have many crazy ideas. Half of them completely crazy, and the other half are not. And between us, Anya is the person who really is very strict about my ideas. He always finds, no, mom, that can't be done. This is wrong, and that is wrong. And she's correct. But if she supported it, means it's worth it. And I know she was interested in Aboriginal cultures even when she was in high school. So many thanks, Anya, and many thanks to your peers who wrote their poems. Again, we have a Facebook group. We have different things. Now I know that Elena Obolensky had some surprise related specifically to the text of Archibald Lampton. That was the start of this project. Elena, please do.
First of all, I just want to say to you, Vita, happy birthday to you, because it's really today your birthday, right? And I'm very happy that your daughter is supporting you in that project, and I wish you all the best in your life and in your, crazy, as you said, ideas and your wonderful projects you are doing. And just a few days ago, I has been returned from my trip, and on the Facebook I just listened the poem which Vita declared on the Facebook, and I was inspired actually by this Archibald Lampton poetry. Really inspired, because I am a really lover of the nature, as you probably know, right? And just a few days ago I composed the music for this song, and today is the premiere of this song, and I hope you will like it. Just enjoy it. Just try to be focused on the native mood, okay? Хоя, 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 хо. Хоя, 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 хо. Far in the green, Norway's beyond the lines, that on the river's eastward to the sea, set with 1,000 islands crowned with pines, life the devoted wild Temagami, 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 Temagami. И все вместе хоя, 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 Temagami, хоя, 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 Temagami. На северо-западе, где не шумят города, вдали от пустой суеты, порожденной людьми, небом большая вода. Глубокое чистое озеро Темагами. Темагами, Темагами. Хоя, 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 Темагами. Хоя, 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 Темагами. Его берега покрывают густые леса. Огромные лоси глядят через зелень ветвей. Бесчисленны здесь острова и слышны голоса диковинных птиц и загадочных диких зверей. И если лиловою тучей приходит гроза, герои индейских сказаний встают из тени. Хоя, 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 хей. Хоя, 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 хей. В каное на веслах гребли часами подряд. С утра и до вечера плыли и видели мы, как медленно тает и умирает закат. В молчании озера Темагами. Темагами, Темагами. Хоя, 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 Темагами. Хоя, 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 Темагами. Темагами.
Wow, Lena, thank you so much. Many thanks to you. Wow.
It is surprise to Vita, first of all, as a birthday gift from me, and I think it's a surprise to everyone because I try to connect the poem to the native, influence.
Wow.
I hope you enjoy.
I know you're writing songs. I knew you're writing some song about it, but I didn't know it would be that connected to indigenous rhythms and actually the vibes, indigenous vibes.
I thought you will sing with me. Hoya, hoya, hoya.
Well, it doesn't work in Zoom. Actually, it's I did. If you notice, I did a little bit, but normally you put yourself on mute. Otherwise, it's very bad in Zoom. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lena.
Thank you very much to all.
Very, 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 very touching. The next, I would like to invite a person who really supports the previous project and cultural mosaic and everything. And this was one of the first people who did support this Temagami and involved other wonderful people. And some I can see here on the bridge, Farida. Farida, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hi, everyone. And I would like to introduce Mary Dorgan, the poetess from Etobicoke, from Toronto, who wrote a very nice poem. I cried when I was reading this poem before Vita launched the project, and so it was it went deep into my soul. And as soon as I saw that Vita has this idea of this project, I thought about Mary. Hi, Mary. So we will give the, and I also wanted to tell, unfortunately, my video doesn't work, that I was inspired by Vita's project and I made a picture, I painted a picture.
I can present the picture, but yes, I will present it. Just give me just 1 second. and this is, by the way, this is how I learned that about another Farida's talent, because she has many. I never knew that she does any painting. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Farida, I personally, I'm not that knowledgeable. I think it's a beautiful picture. Maybe you can explain to us the meaning and what means what. And
Oh, it is the Lake Ontario and the dream catcher, which is the Native Indian symbol, and the colors show. It depends how people perceive the colors. It can be sunrise, which is the beginning of something beautiful new. It can be the sunset, which would mean that after the sunset will come the sunrise, and it can be bloodstained, which in the water, which is it depends how people see this picture. So it is up to you how you see it. But it is the Lake Ontario and the native people living on the lake. So this is it.
thank you so much. This is really nice and really touching. And I know Farida, Farida brought Mary Dorgan, Mary brought other people, but now I would like Mary to read Mary to read your poem. Mary Dorgan, can you see? Can you hear us? Mary?
Just unmuted. Hi, nice to be here. Thank you
Hello,
for
hello.
inviting me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can.
Okay.
Even I can see you. Maybe you can move a little bit screen because, well, I can't see your chin. Yeah, now it's good. Now it's good. Yeah.
So I wrote this when the children were discovered first in Kamloops, and so it's called 215 because there were 215 children. The bodies were found there, and I had just actually read a book written by Joseph Boyden about the arrival of the Jesuits in Ontario, really. And he spoke in it about how the first peoples treated the dead. And they treated them so tenderly that the Jesuits were touched by this. And so I was deeply, deeply touched to hear this news. And I was overwhelmingly sad. This is what came to me. They were waiting all these years to be discovered, waiting to tell the horrors they experienced, waiting to wake us up. Let us stay awake to the cruelty that is not past. See all the harm that is still done. 215 come to us, and whisper a command in undeniable grief. Keep going. That's it.
It's
And
beautiful.
they did keep going, and they found more and more and more. So it's sad, but there's, as I discovered when my dad passed, there's also joy in that grief, because we find our beloveds, we find that connection.
I know, Nikki.
Yeah.
I know, Mary. You have your own. You have very interesting history, and you know, from Ireland actually, then to France, then to Canada.
Yeah.
I know that people have. I would say very rich background, have what to say about, and thank you very, very much.
Thank
really,
you.
Thank you. Yes, I ask people, invite people in the order of they contributed to this project. I would like to invite to the microphone Patrick Connors. I know like not because of me, just Patrick has his own poem, and actually I'm working on translating this poem into Russian, going deeper and deeper into the lyrics, and I really love it. Patrick, can you see us? Can you hear us?
I can, and thank you for all of that, Vita. I'm honored that you are translating this poem. Thank you, Mary, for reading your poem. It took a lot of courage to do that. One danger that we have with this is the cultural appropriation. Temagami is a very important piece in Canadian literature because it was the first sort of acknowledgement of the First Nations culture by the settler culture, but also because Temagami is quite far in the north. It's a 4.5 to 5 hour drive from Toronto, and it's pretty much right on the border of Quebec, because that part of Quebec has its geography go into Ontario, and it's sort of still unsettled. It's not quite the near north with cottage country like Haliburton and the Muskokas, so it still has that sort of frontier feel to it, and that's kind of what Canada is about and settling it about. My events for 100,000 Poets for Change and other poetry events were doing land acknowledgements before that sort of became a trendy thing to do, and that is not because of me, that is because of my dear friend Opuk. Opuk is a First Nations elder who honored us by opening our events with a land acknowledgement, and he and I became very good friends. In 2020, he passed away just before the COVID, so not because of COVID, but just before COVID really hit. And this is the poem that I wrote, A Period of Transition in honor of Opuk. March 21st, the first full day of spring. Birds are chirping, the sun shines, leaves are forming on the trees. Today is the day Opuk has left this dimension, and yet I know his spirit lives on. He taught us in 2012 that the end of the Mayan calendar was not the end of the world, but merely a new beginning. The universe is in a period of transition, Opuk said. All the stars and planets are in perfect alignment. It has taken us over 5,000 years to get to this point, but make no mistake, our time has come. If you are not ready for our destiny, the world will leave you behind. But if you will accept this new dawning, the importance of Mother Earth, the sacredness of all people, then you are ready for the days which will change the world forever. I know I will see Opuk again after I have made my period of transition. We will laugh and hug, and he will tell a joke about an angel, a poet, and the eagle. And we will laugh again, and he will teach me how to live in a world beyond enlightenment. Thank you.
Patrick, many thanks to you. And just want to say to everybody, Patrick is really a good poet and also a person who is very active socially, and manager of Toronto Department of 100,000 Poets for Change. And many thanks, Patrick, for supporting this initiative.
I appreciate you having me be involved in this, Vita, and
thank you. Now I want to invite Simeon Safro. I know that Simeon translated 2 very nice poems into Russian. And actually, this is how I learned about the authors who Simeon translated. Simeon, please read, please tell us.
Should I read it in English?
In English, the origins, yes.
Origins.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have them, actually. If you want, I can present.
Okay. The one poem is written by Marjorie Pickhow. She is one of the first poetess, women who wrote lyrics in Canada. And this particular poem, The Indian Dancer, is very musical, very, I would say it's very touchy when you read it. So the Indian dancer, over his feet the fringes fell, the fox fur fringes white as noon. It seemed his feet were musical. They never stayed in the slow tune that ran and rippled and changed its bars and chimed forever in falling notes. And when the summer sings in stars of music born in bubbling throats, all his wild strength was given in grace. Scarce plumb, the year's young grasses bent, the warm airs touched his brooding face. Along the pathway that he went, giving no light, the full moon stood behind the birches on the hill. The summer silence of the wood was a gold cup for love to fill. Red lily buds and blackening grapes and mandrakes gemmed with ivory bloom. The forest held 1,000 shapes like music in the scented gloom. She saw, as flower or song made fair, the last light glow on crest and limb. One bird, all plume, was in his hair. Like a white moth, it danced with him. Into her willow flute she breathed, her soul with delicate outs and ins. Her soul was with the dew that sheathed love's beat work on his moccasins. Her soul was in the fern that laid love's sweetness for his moving feet. Between the moon dawn and the shade, her soul danced with the melicete. Melicete is one of the small tribes, Indian tribes, and was famous for its music and own cultural developments. That's the poem. You want it in Russian or not?
Oh,
I
sorry,
don't hear.
I'm on mute. I wanted the other one, which is
The other one.
I can present. It's the author is Duncan Campbell Scott.
Yeah, Duncan Campbell Scott. Also, yeah, he is a poet of the beginning of past century, 20th century. The half-breed girl. She's free of the trap and the paddle, the portage and the trail, but something behind her savage life shines like a fragile veil. Her dreams are undiscovered. Shadows trouble her breast. When the time for resting comes, then least is she at rest. Oft in the morns of winter, when she visits the rabbit snares, an appearance floats in the crystal air beyond the balsam firs. Oft in the summer mornings, when she strips the nets of fish, the smell of the dripping net twine gives to her heart a wish. But she cannot learn the meaning of the shadows in her soul, the lights that break and gather, the clouds that part and roll, the reek of rock-built cities where her father dwelt of yore, the gleam of love and shilling, the mist on the moor. Frail traces of kindred kindness, of field by hill and strand, the heritage of an age-long life in a legendary land. She wakes in the stifling wigwam where the air is heavy and wild. She fears for something or nothing with the heart of a frightened child. She sees the stars turn slowly past the tangle of the poles, through the smoke of the dying embers, like the eyes of dead souls. Her heart is shaken with longing for the strange, still years, for what she knows and knows not, for the wells of ancient tears. A voice calls from the rapids, deep, careless, and free. A voice that is larger than her life, and than her death shall be. She covers her face with her blanket. Her fierce soul hates her breast as it cries with a sudden passion for life or death.
Many, many thanks, Semyon. Thank you so much. And again, at this point, we have only Facebook repository. I encourage everybody to put it there. The Facebook group is called Teatronto. I do whenever I can, put little by little, but whoever is using Facebook, very welcome to put there. Thank you so much, Semyon. Thank you. Maria Bloshteyn. Can you see, can you hear us?
Yes, hi. Hi, Vita, happy birthday.
Thank you so much, and thanks for joining.
All right, so I'm going to be reading a poem by Bruce Hunter. Bruce Hunter is actually, he lives in Thornhill. He is from Alberta originally, and just a little note, he's an author of 7 books, 5 of them are poetry, and he's having a book of his poems come out in Italian translation, Una Vita in Poesia, in 2022. So he hasn't been translated into Russian as of yet. I'm hoping that maybe some of the excellent interpreters, translators here will be interested in his work. So this is a poem he wrote about a student of his, an indigenous man who committed suicide. It's called What I Know About Gerald. What I know about Gerald, that Jerry, the name the other called him, was too joyful for his dignity, that he was given to days of rage when everything was dark, that he was the only student who ever told me I was wise the day we talked about spirits and how the earth is a holy mother, that he was gray and mustached, older than all the others, that his fierceness was a necessary force to live by, that he kept trying when the others failed, that he was an Ojibwa from somewhere north of here, from a school run by priests, that the things they did were unspeakable, that he ran away and never returned, that when I called the counselor back, all I had was scraps, that she told me he was a rumor in a place where no one knew him, that he had a sister no one could find, that he had tried twice before, that he left a small bundle of possessions and nowhere to send them, that when he went down to Scarborough Bluffs, the spirit welcomed him, that the waters of Lake Ontario consumed him, that whatever wisdom I have is not enough, that his gray eyes follow me as I watch over my classes for the watery arms that took him.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much. Again, if you are using Facebook or if you want to contact, I just put in the chat window the Facebook group name. Well, this Facebook is Teatronto, specifically for Cultural Mosaic, and also our website, Club, etc. So from that website, you can see our main Facebook group, which is Club, etc. Arts and Science, and some other like Russian poetry. Many thanks to you. And I personally, I'm learning so many things, so I'm very happy. And this is all this is the, I would say, the best gifts for my birthday. This is the really nice. Thank you so much, Maria. I would like to invite Gari Lait. Gari? Gari, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. And Vita, I just wanted to say happy birthday. It's actually a good day, a very good day, and happy Thanksgiving to all Canadians. You guys are amazing, and to have a neighbor like that to the north.
Gary is located in Chicago, right?
In certain phases of history, to have such an amazing neighbor to the north really means a lot. I think what Vita does is very important. Both of her projects are tremendous, but this particular one is really, really important because they say that people who forget history don't have the future. Therefore, we should always remember the native people and treat them with respect, both here in the United States and in Canada. And I think that's what this project accomplishes. I'm honored to be here. I don't want to take any more time. I will not be reading the poems. I sent them to you. You are free to do with them as you wish, both the Russian and the English version. That is my present for your birthday. Again, thank you for asking me to come. I am tremendously enjoying listening to all the wonderful poetry and the speakers. Once again, happy Thanksgiving, guys. And happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Why don't you read? Well, in English, I would be a little bit, feel shame because I do have accent, so you don't.
That's okay. Well, I actually also do have an accent. I'm actually, it's interesting because I'm an almost Canadian. I remember when we were in Italy and I was a teenager, my parents almost went to Calgary. So I could have had a Canadian accent by now, I guess. No, I don't want to take any more time. I sent you the text just so that you would have them. I'm glad that they worked out. I will learn more about this wonderful lake, but in the process of writing the poem, both poems, I learned a lot. And I thank you for the opportunity for me to become a little bit smarter that way. Once again, happy birthday, dear Vita, с днем рождения, and happy Thanksgiving, Canada. It's awesome. You guys are great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Gary. Many thanks to you. I would like to invite Marina Sherkina-Liber. Marina, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi.
Hello.
Okay. You asked me to tell the same story as last year, but I'm not sure if I remember.
Or different.
Last year. So.
If you want to present, you do have presentation rights.
Right. Okay. No, I don't have anything like to show on the screen. And I don't have a poem, but I worked with the Inuit in Labrador as a linguist because I worked on bilingualism and I did a study that involved their language, which is very interesting. Like many North American Aboriginal languages, it's polysynthetic, which means that you can build really, really long words consisting of small pieces, each of which is meaningful. And the whole, like that whole long word would be translated as a whole sentence into English. So for example, something like, I don't remember the sentences anymore. Like, Ihalutsea simenilagot. This is one word, but it's translated as, it's a verb, one word. It's translated as like, we didn't have a lot of fish. Like we didn't catch a lot of fish, the whole sentence. And I don't have a poem. I don't know if like they really have like poetry up there. They definitely have stories, but not poetry. But I have sort of a poetry in stone. And this is a traditional Inuit carving made of a type of granite, which is called labradorite, and it has So it's kind of gray, but it's hard to see here, but it has those sparkling blue spots. I don't know.
I can see it. It definitely,
Yeah.
it is bluish too. Yes.
Yeah. And seals, of course, are very common up north. People hunt them, eat the meat, use the fur for clothes. And this guy is made by a famous Inuit sculptor named Gilbert Hay, who lives in Nain, a city in Labrador, where I did my research. I didn't meet him personally, unfortunately, but I have his sculpture. And there is actually an Inuit legend that those spots in that stone that kind of shine, they actually vary from purple to blue to green, and that's, according to the legend, that's the northern lights trapped in stone. So and they also used those parts with like blue or green coloration to make jewelry too. Yeah, and interestingly, the Inuit language doesn't have generic words, something like fish in general or berries in general, but they always have to name the specific berry or specific fish, or even a specific type of seal. There is a word like pui, which means seal in general, but it really means an animal that pops out of the water. But for every type of seal, there's a specific word. For every type of berry, there's a specific word. But if they want a generic, they use kind of the most common berry, which is Kiminak in Labrador. No, actually, it's Paunak in Labrador. It's a small berry, which is called crowberry in English and Voronika in Russian. And for fish, it's the codfish. That's the kind of the default fish, and they use it just to mean the fish in general. But also they are again very specific about fish, and even different types of salmon have like different words. That's like a peculiarity of Inuktitut.
Marina, do you know by any chance? I heard that for Russian native people in Russia, Eskimos, right? So they have different words for different types of snow, because snow is a great thing in their life. For example, first snow and wet snow, there are two different words. I'm not sure like if the same thing for Inuits, but if you work with them, you may know.
Yeah, it's a big kind of a big thing about Inuit language, and I think that was actually said about Inuit in North America too, or maybe actually about Inuit in North America, that they have like 200 words for snow. And I can send you links to a few internet resources where linguists actually discuss this issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's I mean, it's true that it's like, yeah, they have to deal with snow, like different types of snow every time, but so do, for example, mountaineers. If you go up like up the mountain where there is like snow, ice, and everything, it's very important what kind of snow you will see there.
Mm-hmm.
And English has such words like specific terminology, what kind of snow, like it's like I don't remember the exact words, but is it like soft snow, like hard packed snow and everything? Russian has the terminology too, so they have that terminology too. But among those 200 words, some of them have different roots, but a lot of them have the same roots.
Mm-hmm.
And because Inuktitut has a very, very like rich morphology, as we call it. It has a lot of suffixes, which you can add, which you can like string. You can have like up to like 8, 9 suffixes in one word. You have this long train of word. And of course, like every suffix will give you this extra meaning, and you will have a different word. but the same happens to a smaller extent in English. Like you have snow, snowfall, snowflake, snowman. So they do it in like
other languages too. Yeah, in Russian too.
And there are also different rules. Like there's a blizzard, right? There's like whatever other words. So there's some differences, like snow falling, snow on the ground, like wet snow, like dry snow, like but not to that extent. So there's kind of conflation of the different roots and different morphology.
I see. Very interesting. Thank you so much. Thank you, Marina. I still have the picture from last year, and then I do keep it in my on my hard disk and in common repository too. So thank you so much. Thank you for this virtual gifts. Many thanks to you. Now I can see people. Yeah, thank you, Marina. This is the best, the virtual gifts. I can see people who translate from English to Russian. Ilia Lipis, Alexander Shik, Rada Teplitsky. If you guys want, it would be nice to hear the origins. I know many of your favorite authors, Emily Dickinson, Robert Frost, and others, they would write, well, it's not about specifically about Aboriginal subjects, but about Canadian nature or just North American nature that is common for all of us. Ilia, do you want to read anything in English?
Okay, I'll try to. First of all, many happy returns. Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't tried.
A little bit closer to the microphone, yes.
Okay. First of all, many happy returns, and unfortunately, I haven't tried to translate from Aboriginal poetry. So today, I'm going to just read my translation from the Shakespearean sonnet 116 into Russian. I dedicate it to you and to your project.
In English, not everybody here understands Russian, you know.
In English, I don't have an original at hand. So
not everybody here understands Russian.
I understand. The only thing I can do now, I just recite my translation.
Okay, you don't have any Emily Dickinson handy?
Give me 2 minutes. Let somebody else.
Maybe Rada or Sasha. Rada, do you have anything in origin in English? Rada? Rada, can you hear me?
Yes.
Do you have anything anything in English?
No, not really.
No.
Do you mean something related to the topic?
Well, not maybe just about nature or North American nature, whatever you love.
I would better prefer to hear and to listen.
Okay, then just cheers and see you one day in person. Just cheers and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Rada. Sasha, thank you so much. Thank you.
I don't have something specific to
next
say.
Time then.
Next time, for sure.
For sure. Thank you so much. Sasha Shik, do you have anything maybe not specifically Aboriginal topic, but anything about nature and spirits?
Well, in principle, I do, but if you give me 2 or 3 minutes to prepare, since I should find, it was quite unexpected, so I should find the text. So maybe I remember by heart my Russian version, but I should look and find the original.
The origin, yeah, because it's not everybody. Okay.
So 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, then just we have free talk. Whoever want to say anything, whatever complaints or anything.
Vita, I just wanted this is Gary. I just wanted to say that your daughter writes tremendous poetry, And I was wondering if she's still here and if we could ask her to read some more.
Wow.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, it was really wonderful. Thank you so much. I was just wondering if you could read a little more.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you so much.
it's a good idea, Anna. Go ahead.
Let me see if I have anything handy as well.
I'm too happy. Just don't want people to say that because this is your daughter. Just
No, she's a wonderful poet. I know you're a good poet as well. But you guys definitely write different stuff from what
we definitely
so yeah. If you could, that would be awesome. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that.
No, totally fine. I have one poem. Unfortunately, it's not related to any First Nations topics or themes, but I suppose in a way it is related to nature. It's a poem about a Greek myth, Atalanta, if anybody's familiar with it. She was a really, really cool lady. And growing up, she was one of my favorite characters in Greek mythology. And her story, just to give a very quick little summary, is I believe she was, her father wanted a son. And when she was born, she was obviously a baby girl. So he abandoned her on top of a hill, and a mother bear found her and adopted her. So she grew up among bears. And then at some point, she grew up to learn how to hunt and became this wonderful huntress and essentially an athlete, and kind of destroys a lot of, you know, the damsel in distress character types. And I really like that about her. And eventually she's this great beauty and everybody wants to capture her and marry her. And she says that whoever bests me in a race, in running, that man I shall marry. And eventually one guy finds her and says and prays to Aphrodite to help him win this race against her so that he can marry her. And Aphrodite says, okay, here are 3 apples, golden apples, and throw them as you run this race with her, and she will get distracted, pick them up, lose the race, and so you will marry her. And he was like, awesome, I'll do that. So they start this race, and he does throw the apples, and with time, Atalanta catches each apple and eventually loses the race. So they are to marry, and they marry. But unfortunately, he doesn't give thanks to Aphrodite, and Aphrodite, being quite petty, gets very angry and decides to curse him. And depending on which Greek myth you read, or which version rather, it's either her that turns them into lions, or it's she casts a curse where they make love in the temple, I think, of Zeus, and then he gets mad and turns them into lions. But basically they are turned into lions, and by being lions, they're cursed, right? So they can't be humans anymore. And as a kid, I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, lions are pretty cool animals, and why not? But actually, apparently in Greek mythology, what I found out very recently is that 2 lions, they used to believe that lions couldn't mate with one another. They could only mate with other big cats. So really what happened was, when they were cursed for being lions, they couldn't be together in love. I didn't know this as a kid. So anyways, my poem is called Ode to Atalanta. From the mountain she learned of loss. With the bears she caught the hunt. From their very hunters she learned of treachery. And with that, vowing herself to the darkened trees and silver streams, she was gone. Warrioress spears the ancient woods, leaving ripples in the leaves. The earth trembles beneath her tender foot, pure as gentle lilies in the month of May she runs. Ivory shoulders bespeckled with beads of sweat that gleam. Unyielding like the sun scorching on the longest day she runs. Chestnut waves trail far behind, sowing in the forest with her locks along her branching seams. How she fights the strong, the mighty. How she hunts with all the wilderness captured in her heart. Against the will of Aphrodite, the swift huntress falters the failing dart. Heroine of the moon, racing against a goddess. From the very start, a lion doomed, all for the price of 3 golden leaves and apples. That's it.
Okay, Vita.
Thank you very much.
I'm
Thank you,
ready
thank you
if
so
you
much.
want.
Thank you.
I'm ready if you
Давай,
want.
yes, please.
Me?
Sasha.
Okay, it's Robert Service, one of, I think, the best Canadian poet. Heart of the North. One moment, please. I'll open it for me. And when I come to the dim trail end, I who have been life's rover, this is all I would ask my friend, over and over and over. A little space on a stony hill with never another near me. Sky of the north that's vast and still, with a single star to cheer me. Star that gleams on a moss gray stone, graven by those who love me. The wood I lie, alone, alone, with a single pine above me. Pine that the north wind whinnies through. Oh, I've been life's rover, but there I'd lie and listen to eternity passing over. Сердце севера, когда в бродяжей моей судьбе прерваться тропе не пришлось бы, будет, дружище, просьба к тебе, одна только будет просьба. В клочке земли, меж каменных плит, где нет ни конных, ни пеших, просторным северным небом укрыт, звездой одинокой утешен, под серым камнем с пару строк от тех, кто меня любили, хочу лежать одинок, одинок, с одной сосной на могиле. Где ветер северной ветви рвет, я жизнью бродяжей гонимой, теперь улягусь, слушая ход вечности, катящей мимо.
Sasha, thank you so much. I hope like Mary and Patrick, who do not
Next
understand.
time, please warn me preliminary.
Okay, just yeah, because two people do not understand Russian, so
This
yeah.
is what Canada is all about: different voices.
Oh yes,
languages,
and
sharing
different
it.
points and different cultures. Okay,
I'm
very,
ready.
very good. Ilyusha, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. So, Emily Dickinson. On my volcano grows the grass, a meditative spot, an acre for a bird to choose, would be the general thought. How red the fire rocks below, how insecure the sod, did I disclose, would populate with awe my solitude. My translation. Покоем дышит мой вулкан, исследуя молве, там птицы мирно гнезда вьют в непошенной траве. О, как пылают камни в нем, и лава в 100 шагах. Прорвется разом и ползет мое сиротство, страх.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ilyusha. And again, I hope the language of poetry is something that everybody understands. Yes, so I can see more people who, well, didn't read anything. I can see Jacob and Diana and Ella. So guys, I'm so happy that that you came. If you want to read anything or just say before we close this Zoom. Very happy to see you on this Thanksgiving night. This is what this is one of the gifts. Oh my goodness. This is one of the gifts from COVID, I would say. People like, well, we have less meetups in person, but more meetups online. No, Dinочка.
Vitechka, is it okay if I speak in Russian, or because my English I just not too good?
No, it's good enough.
It's enough. Okay, I just would like, I'm so happy, you know, I know you, and I'm so happy I met you, let's say 10 years ago. So in reality, we met like more than 45 years ago, I think so.
Yes,
And,
correct. Exactly
yes,
45.
And I figured out that today you have a birthday, and I really happy. And and you asking about make a little surprise, and I thought about what really can warm your heart, and it came to my mind when we were young girls, and we. Just starting studied in university, in Kazan University in Kazan, and we attended to Capella of University, and there was first concert, and I have a picture of it. I don't have this picture in my possession right now. It's still in Kazan with my oldest daughter, and in this picture, you and me, we just in black dresses with white. I don't know how to say it. Как сказать, right?
Yeah, it was nice.
Very serious. We try sing the song, you know, trying to make it proper. And it was just we in hallway, we going to concert in university. So I would like to remind you this song, and maybe it's, I hope it's warmed your heart right now. Ветерок с позаранку, ты гони мой чон к Урземчанке. Мне дочку она обещала, женихом меня называла. It's a very long song, you know, but I hope these memories make you happier a little bit. And I wish you happiness. I wish you youth in your heart as you have. I'm so happy you're surrounded for so talented, smart, educated people. And I wish you success in all your projects in future. And I'm proud of you, you know? Yes.
Thank you so much, Dinочка. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wow, this really just brought me the tears. Thank you very much. Really, thanks to you. I can see Yulia, but no, with no camera. I can see Jacob. I read all your nice words on Facebook. Ella, and welcome, Ella. Welcome to Canada, and really nice to. Will be very nice to have you here with us for good. Okay. Thank you very, very much, everybody, and Canadians and Americans. I hope that one day we will all meet in person. And here I wanted to share the picture that was made by a very talented guy, Eric Kovalevsky, who worked with us a lot. So this is specifically this is the actually Temagami Lake, and these are the you can see silhouettes of bear and all, which there are like symbols of Ojibwa or Chippewa culture. So. Yes, and I hope we will continue our meetups and for this project and for other projects. Come to see us. Then our next meetup will be in November, dedicated to in Flanders fields, and all our program is in club.etc.ca. Thanks again. Thank you very much for everybody who for your warm wishes, for your nice poems, and hope to see you again. Thank you, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you very much, Vita.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Виточка, у тебя красавица дочка.
Не зря старались. Вообще ничего про ней говорить.
И талантливая девочка.
Сколько ей лет, Вит?
Не скажем.
Is it big secret? Okay.
Мне 27.
Oh my goodness. I thought you are like 17. Like
Спасибо,
when
Oh, I
you-
Марина.
wish, I wish. Unfortunately, not anymore. К сожалению, нет.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Спасибо.
Спасибо, Яков. Спасибо, Элла. Спасибо всем. Пока. Thank you.
Bye-bye.